Hello and welcome back to another Pokemon Challenge video. My name is Alpha and today we are doing Can Serena's team beat Pokemon Sun and Moon? Now I'm referring to the anime when I'm talking about Serena, and we're going to use her team. Her team consists of a Sylveon, a Pancham, and her Braixen. And before the challenge begins, I want to ask if you guys can leave a like, comment down some challenge ideas for upcoming videos, and subscribe if you guys have not already. So anyways, let's get back to the challenge. So our team consists of 3 Pokemon, Braixen, Sylveon, and Pancham. It's not too bad of a team when looking at that. That is mainly why I actually switched the game from X and Y to Sun and Moon, because X and Y is so easy. So I knew from the start it would have just been like, oh, you're using 3 Pokemons in total. It's not that hard of a challenge, so that's why we have to move it to Sun and Moon. I think that's for the better anyways. So right, I've got a lot of feedback on the commentary in the last few videos, so I want to use those today. I'm still going to talk about topics, but also sprinkle in some commentary about the games as well. So hope you guys enjoy it, and let me know what you guys want me to talk about in further videos as well. So there's actually like a cult following included with her name. There's a lot of people that enjoy Pokemon X and Y and are huge fans of the More shipping, which is Ash and Serena as a couple, and people would fantasize about that. I was one of them too. There's a lot of people who did that, and it's nothing to be shameful about, but it got to a point where it was pretty outlandish how far people went for it. There's a point where a handful of fans actually attacked the writer of the Pokemon anime. It was something, the writer would actually come out and apologize for like baiting people in, because the episode was advertised as Ash and Serena will eventually dance together, which had never happened. And then people got really mad about that, and then the writer came out, apologizes. Pretty funny if you guys think about it. Obviously harassment's not funny, but it's pretty funny in the grand scheme of everything that people are so attached that they just started just throwing anger around. But I think that's pretty cool. I feel like I talk about the Pokemon anime every single episode, but I mean I think that's where I came from. That's when I really had an online presence for Pokemon. I really started from the Pokemon anime and from X and Y, and that's where I just grew out from. Obviously I played Pokemon since I was a kid, but only up to like 2016 is when I actually had like some kind of an online presence. Speaking of that, I'm actually traveling because of this online thing. I'm actually going to Worlds. There's this Pokemon Championship, like the biggest championship for Pokemon, in August, and I'll be attending that. Now, will I be competing? No, because I actually don't like Pokemon competitive as much as I probably should have. Oh, here's Texio is the most annoying person. He always beats me. Every time I do challenges, he always beats my team. But anyways, yeah, I'm actually gonna be traveling. So if you guys are there, it's in London, and it's a big Pokemon convention. A lot of people are planning to go. I'm pretty excited. More so because I can meet most of my friends from the internet. I'm not too excited for like Pokemon competition. I think that's a whole tangent of itself, where the Pokemon competitive scene is just not fun for me. Like today, actually, they've banned Dynamaxing on Showdown. If you guys don't know Pokemon Showdown, it's a Pokemon battling simulator that plays under Smogon rule set. So that's how they balance their game. And today just banned Dynamaxing because Dynamaxing's too broken. That's insane, because, well, that's the gimmick of this generation, and now it doesn't have Z move, it doesn't have Megas anymore, so it's pretty bland. And that's why there's only 400 or so Pokemon. It's very bland now because there's no Dynamax. Would I ban Dynamax? I feel like I would have too. I think of it as balanced, but it's just nothing to do now. Like, you can't have your cake and eat it as well, because if you have Dynamax, it's too broken. If you don't have it, it's pretty bland. I'd rather have it off, because, you know, even though it's bland, it's still balanced. But just Gen 6 had Megas. It obviously bans certain Megas. Gen 7 Z moves. Certain Pokemons are really good with certain Z moves. And now with Gen 8, it's just nothing. Wow, it's kind of crazy with less Pokemons. I'm not the biggest fan of the competitive scene, as I mentioned before, but there are some bright spots, and there are some dark spots. One bright spot is that it feels smooth. And in the actual game, there is more of a push for the game mode. However, recently I found out that there's port priority. It's basically if you're hosted on, you have an advantage just based on that. And certain moves don't work under specific criteria if you're not the host. And that's just not a good game. That's just not a good, well-balanced game at all, unfortunately for that. I don't think there's a perfect generation of Pokemon just yet. I feel like we're missing something from each generation, unfortunately. But in all, maybe there is a game that's perfect for someone out there. I feel like Sun and Moon was missing something. People were complaining after game. Not a big deal, but just I feel like something's missing. And that's probably one of my most completed games. I would say Gen 7 Sun and Moon, the original Sun and Moon, were like really good to me. Pokemon Black and White, of course, really good to me. Diamond and Pearl, obviously. All of Gen 3 is really good. And now we have Gen 8. And it's hard to place where it belongs. Maybe I have to do more ranking videos. But I just can't exactly think of where it should go. Well, what do you guys think? What is your all-time favorite Pokemon game? Or where would you put Sword and Shield? Is it above average, average, or below average? Because I'm thinking above average, but I have so many generations I just named that are above average. So is it better than those, or is it below them, or is that the average? Unfortunately, there's not I'm not 100% sure what I should think of. So anyways, going back to the Serena topic, because this is the Serena episode, I actually spawned myself in with a Sylveon because I completely forgot that Sylveon comes from Eevee. Sylveon's actually one of the cooler Pokemons, I think, that's ever made the anime, or was the new Pokemon introduced in. I know it's a fairy type, and when it was introduced, it was really broken, and it was used everywhere, and it was just really good. And I didn't mind that because Sylveon was kind of cool looking. Fairy became really broken though, but eventually got alright. It came down to earth. It was like how Dragon was, where it's just abused everywhere, but now it's a bit tamer. Like, speaking of that, people were insanely invested in the Omor shipping thing with Serena and Ash, and you know, I for one was part of that. I was never ready to storm the studios of Pokemon just for the character back. There was a petition with almost 100,000 people. But I feel like there's a lot of excitement for it. There's genuine excitement. People were backing it a lot, and obviously the Pokemon Company was not gonna back that the entire time. They were never planning that. They never knew that was gonna happen, and they had the Sun and Moon anime ready. People thought that was tough because she wasn't coming back. People were upset. Now, on a business standpoint, should she have came back? Probably. That's why Misty came back so many times, because she was marketable and she was a recognizable face. But they changed up the formula for Sun and Moon, and they got a whole new cast with Ash, which obviously was successful. People love it, and that's not to take away from people loving Serena. People love that character as well. I think how her character ended, I'm not saying she never came back or can come back, but it's pretty interesting to see how her character finally ended. She got everything she wanted, even though she lost in the grand finals. Oh, spoilers. She lost in the grand final of her beauty contest. She obviously made a career for herself. And also this Lucamine fight right now, going back to video, I always lose this Lucamine fight the first try. I just don't know why. And it's alright to lose this one because it doesn't matter. Game progresses even if you lost, but it's just annoying battle. And as I was saying with the Serena topic, I think the series ended pretty well. I mean, Serena got to kiss Ash. People were really ecstatic about that. And then she was gone. She left. Playing through Sun and Moon again, even though I just played it a lot of times, I just love the story of it. I feel like Sun and Moon is one of the most underrated games, just because it's Gen 7. It's a newer gen. People don't really like the newer gens. People don't play it all the way through. People don't replay it as much. There's a lot of things that were bad about it. It was pretty laggy at times with Z moves, certain Z moves. You can't see it much on Citra, the emulator, so it's not too bad. But in total, I think it was a fine game. You know, I didn't get to replay it that much during its life cycle. But now that I'm actually going back and playing through challenge videos, it's actually so much better. It's still a classic and it's still fun to play through. And I feel like there's like less dull moments. It's a very long game, and that's why I'm at like double speed, but it just doesn't feel that long. Even though it took me 6 to 7 hours to get this footage to make this video, it didn't feel that long. I was playing X right after to record for a different video, and it just felt longer, even though it was 2 hours shorter than this video. It just didn't feel that fun to play, unfortunately. And maybe it was just how the gameplay works. I mean, X and Y looks more clunky now going back to it, like the HP bar and whatnot. Oh, maybe I should play Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire one day. I don't think I did that on the channel yet. Yeah, I should. I do have the ROM for it on my Citra. I just never got around to playing it. So look out for that Omega Ruby challenge one day. Oh, I just feel like Sun and Moon's a good game. Ultra Sun and Moon's not that great for me. I don't know why. It felt like a drag. It felt annoying to play because I knew what happened. They completely changed the story. It's a different universe, and all the things that I like about Lusamine is pretty much retconned, and I don't like that. I don't like retconning stories. Maybe it should have been a continuation. Should have been a better continuation. But I don't control the games. Oh, it's alright for them to try something new though. They have to try something new. I think they always add something else to make something refreshing, which isn't the worst thing. I think it challenges them to be a bit better. You know, Sun and Moon was pretty good. Ultra Sun and Moon's not that great, and Sword and Shield has mixed reviews. What they did with Dynamax in Sword and Shield, I think, was pretty good for raids. I think it was pretty good for the story. But having such a strong move that also boosts your stats, it's a bit much. That's why Gyarados just became instant success, because it's just so good. If you get that thing set up, like all you have to do is just evolve it, and then it cancels out weaknesses because it gives you so much HP. What can you do about it? That's the biggest issue. Like, what are you gonna do about it? The biggest thing is to protect, but if you protect, it goes through it and you still get the boost. So what can you really do to stop these things? So that's why I don't mind the ban for Dynamax, and I don't mind them trying new things for the Pokemon games. I just feel like there's gotta be something more. There's gotta be something available to, like, what is next? Like, what is next for them? Because obviously Dynamax should not come back. I don't think it's gonna come back. And then a lot of the Pokemon community wants Mega to be back. And well, how is that gonna work? How is Mega? How is Dynamax? How is Z moves gonna work? There's so many features now that it is almost scary to think like what happens when you put in a game full of Dynamax, Primos, and Megas just all in one game. Would that happen eventually? Would that have to happen with Z moves? No, that's just even a scarier thought. Because it doesn't take anything to Dynamax, unlike Megas, where you have to hold a stone or hold a crystal for a power-up move. You just power up and use for 3 turns. You are pretty much the best Pokemon on the field, unless your opponent Dynamaxes so well. And unfortunately for that could just make and break a game in total. I'm just worried about what's gonna happen in the future. When they run out of ideas, will they just put everything in? That's what I'm thinking about in the future. Because what is the next big feature they're gonna add? Because it used to be just a few evolution things, or even like a hardware thing. As in Generation 4, dual screen, touch screen, and the Pokewalker. And then, you know, trade evolutions of old Pokemons, new forms for those old Pokemons. And then the fusion Pokemon happened, and then it just kicked off the Mega Evolutions, and then Z moves, and then Dynamax. It just came in at once. It just felt so fast. Everything happened. And obviously Black and White 2 are not to blame at all. It's just constant, like something to excite the players. But at the cost of what? You're exciting the players to buy it, but then it comes shaky. Like, what if like people don't play it or it becomes too broken? Megas, people adore megas, which was a good thing. Maybe they should have kept with more megas. But what if people get bored of megas and then now you're just selling the same thing? Maybe people are tired of the digivolving that you do, which is basically mega. I don't think Pokemon's losing its magic for me. I feel like it's just sitting still, staying still. It hasn't done too much. Maybe I have to wait until the Pokemon's life cycle is over to appreciate it. I won't ever know how I feel about Sword and Shield until, obviously I want to play it. I want to make videos on it and that. Because we're a month from its release and it's obviously declined in interest, which is a shame. But, that's how game cycles work. I got more out of it than what I got from Call of Duty Modern Warfare, which I got about like a day out of, which same price, different enjoyment levels. And so maybe I should be thankful for Sword and Shield, but we'll find out. Anyways, thank you for listening to my TED Talk. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you guys enjoyed this challenge. I had a lot of fun playing it. A lot of fun commentating too. So if you guys can, don't forget to leave a like, comment down some challenge ideas for upcoming videos, and subscribe if you guys haven't already. And my name's Alpha. Hope you guys all had a wonderful day. Peace out. Stay safe. Don't die. Yeah, all that. Save your money too. Don't be buying Call of Duties anymore.